Okay, let's jump right into this interactive explainer where we'll be learning about a truly remarkable young boy named Haziq. Today, we aren't just reading a story, we're actually going on a journey together. I want all the students, the teachers, and the parents watching to really engage with the choices our hero makes here. We're going to explore how tiny, seemingly insignificant decisions can create massive, lasting waves in our lives. But before we get going, take just a second to think about this question. Have you ever done something kind when absolutely no one was looking? Really think about a time you helped out without being asked, or maybe you fixed something without wanting any credit. Hold on to that memory, because today we're going to see just how much a completely secret act of kindness can change your entire life in ways you literally couldn't predict. All right, part 1, meet Haziq and Oman. So our story starts in a peaceful village surrounded by green fields, and I want to introduce you to an 8-year-old boy named Haziq. Now, Haziq wasn't rich. His family didn't have a lot of money or material wealth, but he had an incredibly wealthy heart. Every single morning before school, he'd help his mom water the plants, feed the family chickens, and he always made sure to walk his little brother Hadi to school. He was guided by this absolutely brilliant piece of advice from his dad. People may forget what you own, but they never forget how you made them feel. You know, it wasn't about the toys he had or the clothes he wore. It was all about the positive impact he had on the people around him. Well, that kindness was seriously put to the test one Monday morning. A new boy named Omar arrived at school, and things were kind of tough for him at first. He wore old, worn-out clothes, smiled super nervously at the class, and when it was time to pick partners, he was completely ignored by the other kids. He was sitting there lonely until Haziq seized his hand, invited him over to sit together, and even shared his lunchbox. Haziq's mom had packed 2 sandwiches, an apple, and a homemade cookie, and Haziq was so clever about it. He told Omar his mom always packed way too much, which made it super easy for Omar to accept the food without feeling bad. Let's pause right here for a second. Teachers, parents, and students, talk about what you would do if someone like Omar walked into your classroom tomorrow. Take a moment to really think about it. Would you just look away because, let's be honest, it's easier? Or would you be the one to raise your hand like Haziq did? Consider how that simple little lunch invitation made Omar feel truly welcome and safe for the very first time. Moving on to part 2, the lost wallet. Walking home near the market one sunny afternoon, Haziq faced a major test of his character. He found a leather wallet just lying on the ground. He opened it up just enough to find a name, and inside, it was stuffed with more cash than his family had ever seen at one time. So he faced a really difficult choice. On one hand, he imagined buying brand new shoes, cool books, and all the toys he wanted for himself. But on the other hand, he imagined how devastated the true owner must feel. So he actively chose to search the crowded market to find whoever had lost it. Haziq went around asking shopkeeper after shopkeeper until an elderly man came running up, actually crying out that he had searched everywhere. The man opens the wallet, sees all his money is untouched, and his eyes just fill with tears. He called Haziq an honest boy and immediately offered him cash as a reward. But Haziq, he completely refused. He just smiled and said, "I'm just happy you found it." The old man beamed and told him the world needs a whole lot more children like him. Let's take our second pause here to discuss honesty. If you found a wallet overflowing with cash and absolutely no one was around, what choice would you make? If you knew for sure you could easily get away with keeping it to buy things you always wanted, would you still give it back? Discuss this with your class. Because, it's easy to be honest when people are watching you, but true character is what you do when you're completely alone. Okay, part 3, the science fair. So, a few weeks later, the school announced this massive science fair, and the stakes were incredibly high. The winning team wouldn't just get a good grade. They'd actually get to travel and represent the school in the big city competition. Haziq and Omar teamed up to build this simple but brilliant model showing how to collect clean rainwater for villages during dry seasons. But they had a unique challenge. They couldn't afford any expensive supplies, so they just used recycled trash. They worked every single afternoon using old cardboard boxes, plastic bottles, scrap pipes, and recycled paper to bring their vision to life. Of course, not everyone was supportive. A few bullies actually laughed at their project, telling them there's no way they would win with a pile of trash. But Haziq just smiled and stood his ground with this fantastic response. It's not about expensive things. It's about good ideas. Man, what an incredibly powerful way to handle negativity and stay entirely focused on the work. But then, the unthinkable happens. Just 2 days before the competition, a heavy rainstorm completely floods the school and ruins a bunch of the science projects in the classroom, including Haziq and Omar's hard work. Literally weeks of diligent, careful effort completely destroyed in a single evening. Omar was devastated. He looked at their broken, soggy model and just felt like giving up. Even Haziq felt completely hopeless for a minute there. But then, actually, Haziq remembered those powerful words from his dad. Problems are not the end of the story. They're the beginning of courage. And that realization completely shifted their mindset from despair right back into action. Instead of crying over their own broken project, they rolled up their sleeves and helped absolutely everyone else. First, they repaired broken displays for other teams. Then they shared whatever extra recycled materials they had left over. They actively helped the younger students rebuild their projects, and they even stayed late after school just cleaning up the muddy classroom. And keep in mind, the teachers were quietly watching all of this happen. Time for our final interactive break. Ask yourself honestly, how would you react if your hard work was ruined? Would you be too angry, frustrated, or sad to help anybody else? Or would you find the courage to be like Haziq and Omar, looking past your own disappointment to lift up the people around you? All right, section 4, the big surprise. Fast forward to competition day. The judges had evaluated all the wonderful projects, and the room falls completely silent. The boys had confidently answered the judges' questions about their rainwater collection model. The principal stands up, but before he announces the winner, he tells the crowd that he watched the boys after the flood. He noted that they could have focused only on their own project, but instead they helped everyone. He called that the true purpose of education. And then he proudly announces, the winners are Haziq and Omar. The entire hall just erupts in applause. They won not just for their great idea, but for their incredible character. But wait, there was an even bigger surprise waiting. A special guest judge stood up from the audience, and you guessed it, it was the elderly man from the market. He told the crowd that kindness deserves encouragement, and because he had been looking everywhere for this honest young man, he rewarded Haziq's past honesty with a full scholarship to pay for his education straight through high school. Haziq's parents were completely speechless, his mom cried happy tears, and his dad proudly noted that kindness always finds its way back. Which brings us to our final section. What did we learn? The main takeaway here is that our actions have long-lasting consequences that can take years to fully bloom. Just think about how that one single moment of childhood honesty rippled outward. At age 8, Haziq chooses to return a lost wallet. Weeks later, he's helping classmates rebuild their projects. By high school, he's studying hard, completely funded by his honesty scholarship. And years later, he actually becomes a real engineer, designing clean water systems for villages that desperately need safe drinking water. And his best friend Omar? Well, he became a teacher. Together, they ended up helping thousands of children live healthier, happier lives. When adult Haziq is asked by people how his incredible journey began and how he achieved all this success, he never talks about the money or the scholarship or the fancy awards. He simply smiles and says, "It all started the day I chose kindness when no one was watching." This story just brilliantly illustrates the true meaning of success. It isn't measured by the money in your pocket or the gold trophies sitting on your shelf. It's measured by honesty, kindness, hard work, and helping others. It's about doing the right thing, even when absolutely no one expects you to. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. The good you do today can change your future in ways you never even imagined. So ask yourself right now, what is one kind thing you can do for someone else today? Don't wait for tomorrow, talk about it with your classmates, and go start right now.